Hi, everybody. Welcome. You'll kill him. Right. I know. Everybody, welcome. And thank you for coming this evening to the celebration of Addison County Home Health and Hospice's 50th anniversary. We're so pleased that you're here with us. I hope you noticed that we rolled out the red carpet for you out front, because if you're in this room, you're a star in some way to all of us. Tonight is a celebration. We're going to look back at the people who built this organization and look forward to the next 50 years of being the local, independent, nonprofit VNA right here in Addison County. We will always be with you. Just want to thank a few people while I'm up here. Many thanks to Haley and Joe and all the folks at Town Hall Theater who have accommodated all our requests with such grace. The folks from the Middlebury Inn, Patricia, Sandy, Rose, John, and the staff who provided the wonderful food for us, including the candied bacon, who I think everybody liked. Bruce from WVTK is here. He's done such a wonderful job, as always, of helping us promote the event. Pat Morrow and the Middlebury Garden Club provided these beautiful flowers for us. And Lloyd Commissar from the Middlebury New Filmmaker Festival actually provided the red carpet. Also, many thanks to the committee. We had a wonderful committee of employees at Addison County Home Health and Hospice who put this together for us. Oh, excuse me, Jim. Jim is up there. He's from Middlebury Community TV, and he's filming this for us tonight. We have a very special guest here. We have a lot of special guests here. But this gentleman who's over here, Arnold Addison, is one of the most wonderful people that we know. He's been a wonderful friend to Addison County Home Health and Hospice. I don't think Arnold would mind if I told you that we cared for his wife, Mildred, in hospice care. And after Mildred passed, he established a scholarship fund for the agency, which has enabled our employees to become wound care certified, infusion certified. We have 6 people who went to OASIS training a couple of years ago, which is kind of a fancy way of saying that we sent 6 people off to training, and that helped them save the agency money. And we have now had more than 10 recipients of the Addison Scholarship Fund, and we are so very grateful to Arnold for his generosity. Not only are we grateful for his generosity, but we're so grateful that he's here with his friend Carol Milcune tonight. I'd just like to introduce Brian Young. He's the president of our board of directors, and I'm going to turn this over to him. Thank you for coming.
Thank you all for coming. I'm absolutely blown away. I hate public speaking, so bear with me. 2 minutes after I'm done, I'll probably be fine, but that's not going to help me in the next couple minutes. I'm just blown away by the number of people here. It's such a tribute to the organization and everything that has gone on in the last 50 years, and everybody that's involved to this day, and whether you're involved in the past or the present, or you're destined to help us in the future. Thank you all for everything you've done for the agency. As Maureen said, if you're here, you're a star. You've done something wonderful for this organization, and we greatly appreciate it. My job is to introduce Deborah Wesley to you, and I've been told I had to keep it short, and I have been told I can't give you her resume, which is good, because if I gave you her resume, I'd be here way too long. If I read it to you, what you'd find is all sorts of education and certification and experience. It looks like alphabet soup, all the different qualifications and things that she's entitled to put behind her name. But what you wouldn't see on her resume would be all the energy and enthusiasm that Deb brings to the agency. We're absolutely delighted to have her, and I think those who work with her, even sporadically, or definitely those on a daily basis, know that it's the energy, enthusiasm is what it's all about. Energy, I'm a morning person. I get up in the morning. I think the best hours are the first few, and before most of the rest of the world gets up, I get more done then than anything else. There are still times when I talk to Deb first thing in the morning, and I feel like I need another cup of coffee. This woman is just lapping me here. And I don't even drink coffee, so that gives you a sense for what Deb brings. That just her energy is unmatchable. And when it comes to her enthusiasm, it's enthusiasm for a lot of things. Enthusiasm for her new community. She has jumped into Addison County with 2 feet and absolutely is loving it. I'm sure when she told her family they're talking about going to Vermont, she said, let's find someplace that's the middle of nowhere and somehow simultaneously the center of the universe. And they said, oh, Ripton. Yeah, let's go. And so whether it's snowshoes and shoveling practically every day, I think, and whether it's the bear attacks in the driveway of trying to rip things off the house, she's absolutely enthusiastic about it. Enthusiastic about this industry. It is a very difficult industry, as you know, to manage. Anybody who's involved in healthcare, it's not easy. Deb not only handles it well, but she accepts new challenges with incredible enthusiasm. Absolutely amazes me. You hear that the federal government's going to completely overhaul the payment system come January 1st of next year, and most people say, oh my goodness, what are we going to do? And Deb says, great. Okay, where do we start learning about this? And that's just a normal day with Deb. Enthusiasm about her team. I can't tell you the number of times I have heard Deb say how much she absolutely loves her team at the agency, and it is a team. Absolutely amazing folks, and she is without a doubt a natural leader. Those of you who work with her know that she just begs you to follow her, and you find yourself doing it very easily, absolutely, without question, and that's an incredible attribute. And lastly, and most importantly, enthusiasm for absolutely first quality care, which is what this agency has done for 50 years and what, with Deb's leadership, is going to happen for 50 more. I'm happy to introduce Deb to you.
I'm glad I have lots of makeup on because I'd be blushing. Thank you, Brian, for the kind words. I want to thank everybody for their support for the agency through the years. And support has come to us in many forms. We've cared for your families through generations. And that was what touched me when I arrived here. We have staff that have cared for generations of patients, generations of families. And that means so much to everybody. People have provided financial support. They've served on our board and our professional advisory committee. We've had a few professional advisory committee volunteers tonight. I am excited. The trust our patients and families have in us has allowed us to serve 1,500 patients a year, and we have an average of 500 patients on service with us at any given time. We remain local, nonprofit, independent VNA here in Addison County. We live here too. This is our community, this is our family, our friends, and our home. And I will tell you, when I arrived here, and I am guilty of a spotted zebraed resume, and I have been around. I was fortunate to come down from Canada almost 30 years ago. We'll stop there. And I visited a lot of places in the U.S., and I never really ever felt home. And when I arrived here in Addison County team made this my home, and they are my family. And I have no family here, and I'm so thankful to be part of this group that every day they make me feel like I'm home. So I thank everybody for that. It is absolutely amazing to be part of a group that is excited to deliver care every day. And we get to think about the care we deliver. Yeah, there's new payment structures coming and things are going to change, but that's the exciting part. But every day, we get to deliver great care to the people that we care about. And that is what is important to us. We have done a lot here in Addison County in the past 50 years. It is our goal to keep people at home because that is the best place to be, safely as long as we can. We teach patients about their care and advocate for themselves. In this age of healthcare changing, we need to be advocates, and we need to teach our patients and families to be advocates. We are, as an agency, we are being good citizens by serving our community. Our employees are out there in the community doing so many great things, more than just what our agency does is deliver care. We are participating in so many events. I am so proud. And we're building on a foundation of employees that came before us. Usually that's me, so thank you. And everybody at the agency knows, usually that is me. We are very excited. When I arrived, we were facing a lot of change, and this team embraced change. We went from being a paper system to going up on iPads to an EHR. The team did such an amazing job. They were actually celebrated nationally in Texas last year for being a leading innovator in the country. And that's an amazing, to go from a piece of paper to an iPad, accept it, and just move forward and be a leading agency, not just in this county, not just in this state, but in this country. So hats off to everybody that did it. So we didn't just focus on how to document care, because we really are just about the delivery of care. If you don't document it, you don't get paid. We get that. So we got really good at documenting. But we also were recognized with 5 stars, which in healthcare, Medicare grades you on your care and your outcomes. We received last year a 5-star rating for our home care, and we received just the other day that our hospice will also receive those 5 stars this year. It is just amazing. So, as a home care agency, we are more than just our agency. We've also reached out to the community. We have some great wound-certified staff, and we're working with the hospitals and the nursing homes so that we can enhance care to those patients even before they get home. It isn't about making sure the patient is cared for at home, but making sure those patients receive the best care in the continuum. And if we have the expertise to do that, we're willing to share that anywhere in the continuum, and we're excited about that. We've really worked hard, and we continue. We have, as we move forward with new and exciting things in PDGM, many of our staff are embracing it, and we're excited for change. And we are expanding our skill set, and we'll have therapists that will be participating in wounds, more staff that will be becoming IV certified. As healthcare changes, we are preparing ourselves for the next 50 years to be ready. One of the other things that we've taken on is telehealth. It is an exciting opportunity for us. Many of our patients are truly homebound and they can't get out to the physician's office. We've partnered with our EHR, our electronic health record, and a telehealth system that will actually allow our patients now, with one touch on an iPad, to speak directly to their nurse or their therapist when it is up and running, to a physician's office when we can get that partnered with the physician's practice. Their vital signs can be monitored 24/7. With Bluetooth technology, even in Ripton where you have 0. It still works, we've tested it, and we can get everything we need, and it will help our patients stay home. Our mission is to keep people home, and this is one more piece of technology that we are not reimbursable under any resource that we know, any insurance companies at this point, but it is an important investment in our patients that will give them more power to stay home and have greater control over their care and their health. We've also been very fortunate to increase our Addison scholarship, our training. We have, some of our therapists are getting additional training this year, and I will butcher the really amazing and complex things that they're going to be doing. They're just really cool therapy things. So they're words this long, and they're in the therapy diagnoses, they're in the therapy world, not the nursing world, so I'm not going to pronounce them. So, but it is extremely exciting, and it will continue to provide additional supports for our patients at home. We've really had an exciting year, and I must say that it is absolutely impressive to be part of a team that is so committed and so dedicated not only to each other, to the agency, but to their community. Their first thought is, whether it's a snowstorm, a rainstorm, how do we care for our patients? I've watched this winter and the past winter when we played in lots of snow, and I'm from Canada, so I get your snow. But there wasn't one person said, I'm not doing that because the weather's bad. There wasn't one bad mountain drive that nobody chose not to take because it was a really bad weather day. It is absolutely impressive. Every single individual, aides, PCAs, nurses, therapists, everybody works together to ensure that our patients and families get their care, and it's absolutely amazing to be part of that. And every day I go to work going, yay! So I want to thank everybody from the bottom of my heart welcoming me to your agency, to our community, my home. Thank you. guess I'm not done. So, I would like to take this opportunity to introduce Amy Douglas. She's a former probate judge. Her family owns Douglas Orchards in I'll say this right, Shoreham. Many Addison County children have taken field trips there, and we've served many of her family members in our hospice program. Amy Douglas.
It's wonderful to share in celebrating the 50th anniversary of this incredible organization. I'm here both as a recipient of services and as one of the caregivers for family members who receive services. Over the past several years, we've been frequent flyers with Addison County Home Health, receiving literally hundreds of home visits. I don't think we missed a single service provided by the agency: physical therapy, occupational therapy, social work, nursing, and aides, and aides, and aides. I was the first of 4 family members to come in contact with home health. In 2006, Charlene Remmett got me through a long January of PT following a knee replacement. In 2014 and 15, both my husband Ernie and I needed lots and lots of assistance from home health as we concurrently dealt with cancers. Then in 2016, 17, and 18, both my folks and Ernie needed hospice care. Throughout the course of those difficult times, we've been supported by your excellent staff, among them Charlene, Tim, Diane, Yvonne, Elaine, Kayla, Carrie, Carol, Corey, and the person who has spent the most time with us over recent years, Laura Dame. Laura kept my dad as comfortable as possible in his last months, but she also encouraged him to get on his golf cart when he felt like it, and he was able to do that until the last few weeks. She helped Mom and Dad deal with the changes that occurred as Dad approached the end of his life. Importantly, she brought Mom and Dad bits of life, updates about her kids and their activities, her animals, and their antics. Laura works hard to make smiles appear. The months after Dad died, Mom was ill. Laura was the one person who really understood what she needed, and that was time alone. Laura understood that and helped us to find ways to make that happen. Laura was the person Mom asked to be with her on the day that she died. And Laura was there all day, supporting Mom and making sure the rest of us were doing okay as well. The next year, Laura continued to support my family, this time as my husband struggled with illness over the last several years of his life. Her insight, skill, and kindness were hugely helpful to Ernie and to me throughout that period. Laura treated Ernie with respect and kindness and helped him to retain his dignity during his final months. Laura was also always very aware of the needs and limitations of the caregivers and was a great listener when various challenges seemed overwhelming. Addison County Home Health is a special organization staffed by extraordinary people. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Amy. I would also like to introduce Travis Quinville. He grew up on a dairy farm. He had some health challenges as a child. Our services allowed him to get health care without disrupting his farm life and his school life. He now lives in Winooski and is in grad school. Travis.
Hello all. So I wrote what I'm going to say on my phone, so I'm not reading a text, I'm just reading my speech. So hello, my name is Travis. My name is Travis Quinville. I was invited here today to say a few words about Addison County health, home health. My perspective, obviously, being a patient under the care of their nursing staff. So I was a teenager when I was intermittently bedridden with a rather persistent illness. I had a wound, and it wouldn't go away, so I needed help. And I was lucky enough to have Nurse Val as my caregiver. Having a spinal cord injury since I was young, I'm not unfamiliar with hospital visits and long-term care. And home health allowed me to receive treatment without having to be resigned to a hospital bed or having to go to outpatient therapy in a clinic, etc. So, it was a tough time in my life. I was 16 years old, trying to stay on track in high school. I had a tutor, and I just don't know if I would have been able to stay on track and stay mentally healthy and stay physically healthy if I had to live in a hospital and if I had to live in a hospital and travel and not have just care at home, which is where I needed it. And me being home just made sense. And my family around me. And I graduated high school on time. Yes, thank you. I was literally in a bed for almost a year. I had a tutor come sit with me. I honestly don't know how I did it retrospectively, thinking about it, but I did. As I said, I live on a dairy farm, and anybody who's been around a farm, that always gave me peace, just being in that setting. So being able to stay there, that was fundamental. It really was. I'm 30 years old now. I graduate in a master's program next week. So I'm still alive. And I'm still very good friends. I believe I randomly texted Val the other week. And my brother is as well. Our whole family is. We happen to live close to her, so that was maybe just coincidence, but it worked out. When I was asked to give this speech, I also wanted. Obviously, I was a teenager and I had my own narrow, blurry perspective on life at the time. So I asked my parents. I'm like, how is home health helpful for you as a family? And what does it mean to raise a child who's disabled when you live in Shoreham, 30 minutes away from any kind of health care? And I spoke to my mother specifically, and she said it was fundamental as well. And for some of the same reasons as I said for myself, but she helped run the farm herself. She had other kids, and she had me, and I was always a challenge, no doubt. But the fact that, and she's an RN herself as well. So, but even having her own healthcare background, she was able to kind of relax a little bit when Val showed up. She didn't have to drag me around. Not that I'm that difficult, but it mattered to have that kind of care. It really mattered to her, and she always valued it so much. And I can't say enough about the service that I had, and I'm thankful. Thank you.
I would like to also thank all of our former employees, retired employees, former board members, and current board members, and for that have joined us this evening. Thank you for coming, and I would like to thank everybody for joining us. And I want to say anything besides that. I figured I would be 104 at the next one, so I look forward to you all coming. I may have a walker at that time, but I will have the same energy, so here's to another 50.